we're given that f double prime of x, that's just a second derivative, is equal to 6x. And we're told that f prime of 0 is equal to 0 and c is a constant. So we're being asked to find f of x. So basically what we need to do is we need to integrate 2 times. So we need to move from f double prime of x, which is the second derivative, to f prime of x, which is the first derivative, to f of x. So we're going to be integrating this twice. So first things first, when I integrate this, we're going to get f double prime of x is going to be equal to, so we're going to add 1 to the power, and that would now be x squared, and we're going to divide by that same 2, and that would leave 3. But you understand? You can differentiate this back and see. So when you differentiate it back, you're going to get the 6x. So you have the 3 and the 2. Alright. And we're told that f prime of 0 is equal to 0. So now we say, alright, we have f prime of x. So f prime of 0 will be equal to 3. So that is true. We're being asked to find f of x. So this wasn't necessary, but you know, whatever. F of x is equal to, so we're going to integrate this one more time, and then we have 6. No, we're going to integrate this one more time. So we're going to add 1 to the power, and we're going to divide by that same 3, and it's going to be x3. So that's x cubed plus c, and that is d. Okay, so number 14. If f prime of x is equal to sine x, then what is f of x? So we're given the derivative and we're being asked what is the original function. So what we need to do is we need to integrate. So when you integrate sine, what you get? You get negative cos. Guys, you see all them little formula here, you're supposed to know it at the top of your head, because in the exam, under exam pressure, it's not going to come to you, and you're going to be there flustered and a little bit of time with a whole 45 question and you don't know your formula them. Know your formula them, and it's plus c. Alright? Alright. So okay, so number 41, it looks daunting. Honestly, it looks daunting, but it is not. If you read through the question, you realize that this question is probably one of the easiest ones on the paper. So it tells us that at a time t years, the growth of a certain country's GNP, G, is given by the equation dg dt is equal to 5 plus cos t. So this is the growth rate of the GNP. GNP is the gross national product, right? So it says that at the beginning of the year 1990, the GNP was 732 million. The estimated GNP at the beginning of the year 2000, so they want the estimated GNP at the beginning of the year 2000. So from 1990 to 2000 is how long? It's 10 years. But be careful, it says the beginning of 1990 to the beginning of 2000. So it's saying the beginning of 1990 to the beginning of 2000. So that is 10 years. But what if it had said the ending of 1990 to the beginning of 2000? So we're going to call the beginning January, we're going to call the ending December. Right? So the ending of 1990 would have been, let's call it December 31st, 1990. So technically they count the ending of the year, and they would count the ending of 1990 as the beginning of 1991. We don't want that, but I'm just explaining how you should be interpreting the problems. So they count the ending of 1990 as the beginning of 1991. So if they had said the ending of 1990, it would have been 9 years. Okay, so if they had said the beginning, if they had said the ending of 1990, and then they had said the ending of 19, if they had said the ending of 1990 and the ending of 2000, it would have still been 10 years. So just max it out in your head, and you know what, learn what you're supposed to do. So yeah, that's all the rough work. So they want the estimated GNP at the beginning of the year 2000. So that would be the integral from 0 to 10, because it's 10 years, of 5 plus cos t dt. So that's the growth rate. Alright, so if you look at the options, you realize that we have from 0 to 9, which is out because it's not 9 years. We have from 1 to 9, which is out, 1 to 10, and we have from 0 to 10. So if you didn't really know, like, you could look at it and, you know, find your own little way of figuring it out. Alright, so for this question, we're being asked, we're told that we're being asked for the gradient of the normal to the curve, right? And the curve is y is equal to 3x squared minus 2x plus 1, and we're being told that it's at the point x is equal to 2. So first thing that we need to do is we need to differentiate this. So then we'll have dy dx is equal to 6x minus 2. Right? Now we're being told that we need to find it at x is equal to 1. So when x is equal to 1, we have 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. Now this would be the gradient of the tangent. We need to find the gradient of the normal, right? Because that's what they asked for. So what we need to do is find the negative reciprocal. So we negate it and put 1 over it. So a way you can check back your answer is that when two lines are perpendicular, the tangent and the normal are perpendicular. When two lines are perpendicular, the product of their gradients is equal to -1. So if we have 4 times -1 over 4, we get -1. So we know it's right. So therefore, the answer is 1/4, and that is A. Okay, so for this question, we're given a diagram and we're being asked to find the total shaded area in the diagram, right? So basically, we want to find the shaded area of here plus the shaded area of here. We say, alright, cool, no problem. And then we say, alright, cool. So now that's basically the integral, this is 0 by the way, from 0 to 1, right? From 0 to 1 of f of x dx plus the integral from 1 to 3, right, of f of x dx. But hold on, this one is below the hold on, this one is in the negative range. This one is below the axis. So therefore, we have to find the modulus of it, because we're going to get a negative area, and you don't really get negative areas. So yeah, because for instance, they were the same size. They're not the same size because it's from 0 to 1 and that's from 1 to 3. But say they were the same size, right? And you get 8 for this area, you'd get -8 for that area, and when you add them together, 8 and -8 would be 0. So you'll be saying that the area of the figure is 0, which isn't accurate. So therefore, it is, we have to find the modulus if it's negative, which is, you know, you have to think about it, because negative areas, that don't really make sense.